All right, it's the match has started. I don't think. Okay, it's 2-0 in favor of Gary Eake. Gary is playing Steve Andersen from Grand Rapids, Michigan. And Gary is a student of George Ashby's. Very serious player. He's coming along in the last few years.
Thank you.
You know,
No, we got rid of it. We got rid of it. So we have Bill Johnson speaking right now. Not right now. This is Jim Shovak, USBA Secretary. Bill Johnson, Mid-America Region Director for the USBA, commentating on this game.
and also I have to add that I'm commentating on Steve Andersen, who's my replacement in March, who ousted me.
Steve Andersen will be one of the 3 Mid-America Region Directors in a month and a half or so. And right now, Steve Andersen is shooting. Played a nice try there.
They in Grand Rapids, Michigan, as some of you viewers know from the live streaming that happened in Wyoming, Michigan. Steve Andersen has a billiard club and 64 members. Very nice club. They play daily. Very dedicated to billiards. It's a wonderful atmosphere in his club.
Gary Eake is from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Now he's going to try a delicate shot. Gary Eake is yellow and Steve Andersen is white. So Steve Andersen's cue ball for the game is white. And for those of you who don't know the game, 3-cushion billiards. Steve has to hit his cue ball, and he has to hit his cue ball into both of the other 2 balls on the table. But before landing on the last ball, he has to also contact a minimum of 3 cushions. On this shot, he's going to go off the left side of the red, around the table, and try to come into the yellow ball for a point. When he came too long, hit the ball too thin. And so he did not score a point, and wherever the balls land, that's where the opponent has the shot from. And the balls always end up in different positions.
So therefore, wherever the ball lands, there's a defensive game and an offensive game. And this game is a lot of offense if you're shooting well, but if you're not shooting well, you'll play a lot of defense. So, depends on how you wake up in the morning.
Really does. For me.
Steve Andersen in our qualifier a year ago in Michigan managed to beat me in the 1 hole and keep me out of the qualifier. So I'm going to put a little hex on him right now.
And he also beat me in a very, very amazing comeback. We were playing a 25-point game, and I was winning 20-11. And he started going on this binge of running 4s. He ran back-to-back 4s on me to make it 20-19. Then he ran another 4 to go up like 23-19 on me. And I was like, shocked. I wasn't expecting it. It just came out of nowhere. And he ended up beating me. I think it was 24-24. And he beat me on the last shot with a shot that we all thought was not good and made anyway somehow. And that was very costly because I think I was 5-1 at the time, and that brought me down to 5-2. I had a chance to win the tournament, so I'll never let him forget that. And I'm sure he won't let me forget it either.
Well, they're fun-loving guys from Grand Rapids. I mean, they're serious players, but you know, they have a sense of humor, so it's enjoyable playing these fellas. And I think, you know, if they had more tournament competitive billiard players in the area, you know, these guys would definitely become a force. But you know, since they can only play themselves and they don't have any other, you know, real tournament players, it's, you know, when you play the same guys over and over every day, it's difficult to, you know, to see improvements. So, you know, they're deceptive. You don't think that they're supposed to beat you because you got all this billiard knowledge, and then all of a sudden, you know, you're losing. So this is a funny game. It's kind of like football, you know. The underdog wins a lot of times. There's at the higher levels, there's you know, there's a lot less inconsistency. But you know, when you're at my level, there's a lot of inconsistency. So, you know, strange things happen.
It's a very difficult game, and for those of you who are familiar with the game, I'm sure there's many who are watching now, don't take it personally like I do when you're playing somebody and you know you even know you're a better player than them. You know you have a higher average than them. Sometimes you're on the table and just things are just going against you. They're going right for the other guy. The other guy keeps getting open shots and making them. And sometimes you get scared. You're like, oh, this guy's really better than I thought. And sometimes that's not the case. It's just that the balls are opening up for him, and every time they miss you, you're getting problem shots. And sometimes it's not even on purpose. It just works out that way. So unfortunately, that's part of the game.
And the better you become as a billiard player, when you get to become one of the top players, then you don't let you know, these fears interfere with your play, and you play through them. But you know, that's a long way for me to go. I'll tell you that. But it's a learning experience. You can learn it. You can learn something new about this game all the time. There's always something new. So I've been playing for over 35 years now, and just last week I was trying something different. It's a lot like golf on a golf course. You can always find something to work on.
Hit well. Very nice shot. And I noticed that about Steve Andersen and Gary Scharf. They are definitely finesse players. They a lot of times will hit the ball very soft and just barely make the point. I see them a lot of times. It seems like they opt for the finesse shot over a stroke shot many times. And that's just player preference. But they surprise you.
Yeah, you can't take anybody for granted in this game. This is a game of hot and cold, and you know, players that play below your average sometimes play way above your average, and you can never tell when that's going to happen. So, and we're playing 20-point matches in this tournament, so we're going to have a lot of fun being nervous.
Short games, yeah. Now, bear in mind, I don't know all of the players personally, but I don't believe we have any 8 players in this tournament.
I think we got one. I think what? Yeah, the guy from Chicago.
Brian Half?
Yeah, he plays with Felipe Razon and Adrian Viguera, and he won a tournament at Chris's in Chicago, where he had all the finest Spanish players in the tournament. And for him to beat these guys, He's an 800, 900 player.
Really?
He is.
Okay, so Brian Half, I didn't know.
He's our number one seed in this
He's the
tournament.
number one seed in this tournament.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
So all right, so we have one A player bona fide. At least that's what we're hearing.
Well, I don't really know for sure, but I would have to guess he's got to be an A player.
Okay. So we have him, but aside from that, we're stuck with players like Bill Johnson and Jim Shovak, who are
Yeah, we're stuck with
who
me.
are B players who are trying to work our way up to 800 level or better, and it doesn't always come so simple. It's a lot of work involved, practice and working on your weaknesses and figuring out ways to make the shots and avoid kisses, things like that.
It's a game of plateaus. I mean, you reach a plateau, and then, to get to the next plateau is a lot of work.
So usually the solution is very simple. Just get on the table for 12 to 15 hours a day, and do it every single day for 20 or 30 years, and you better be pretty good at that point.
Right. Malcolm Gladwell has a book out called Outliers, and he explains why Bill Gates and certain people are so so brilliant at what they do and stand out. And he says it's not so much about their gifts as it is about how much they work. They've spent their 30,000 hours of working at their craft, and it's pretty much the same. You got to have gifts to excel, but you got to really have a lot of perspiration behind it.
Absolutely, without a doubt. If you took two tennis players, okay, one has exceptional gifts, they're just naturally gifted, and the other one, just a little bit, not so much. But the person with the gifts doesn't spend the time practicing and working on the game. I'm sorry, they're going to lose to the other guy who's put, like Bill says, 20,000 hours of practice and effort into the game. They're still going to lose because they didn't. You still got to put the perspiration in, as Bill said.
Yeah, and I'm good at that, perspiring. That is.
Especially when he plays me.
We have a back and forth record, Jim and I. I think the first time I got him, the second time he got me, the last time I think I got him down in Louisville, which was critical for me to get in the Nationals.
Last year.
Yeah, he got me in a qualifier. Oh, he got me the last time. So it goes back and forth between us. We're like nip and tuck.
Mutt and Jeff.
Yeah. But, this game needs people that have an ability to cooperate and compete. I mean, there's a lot of ego involved in playing this game. But at the same time, there's a lot of camaraderie. And
there's a lot of camaraderie. That's, to me, it's the most fun part about playing.
this is a billiard family, and Jim, he donates a lot of effort to it. And, it shows how much he cares about the game in and off the table, on and off the table.
I only do it for the money.
Yeah, he's in it for the money.
That great salary I get.
Well, meanwhile, Gary's trying an up and down bank shot,
Close.
and he really came close to that one.
Died here,
And Mr. Cho, if you guys happen to see the live streaming in Warren, Michigan, Mr. Cho made that up and down bank shot.
Yeah.
And I practice that darn thing, and I make that thing now.
Yeah?
And it's scary because it's really calculable. And I like shots that I can sit there and get a number on. And it's a unbelievable shot. People don't think it's supposed to score, and you score it.
No, well, it's a two-way as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, he shot it two ways, but I would have shot it one way.
One
But
way, yeah.
these are the shots that the boys from Grand Rapids excel at. All these short angles. I
Take
had
that
to.
back, Bill.
Yeah, I had to do that to the poor guy.
Yep. Put the hex on him, just like you said you were before.
Well, the short angles are the bread and butter shots of billiards, but by the same token, every table, they seem, some open up and some don't open up. And,
They're all different.
The cloth, some slides and some doesn't. So
On one table, I could set up a short angle, the exact same shot, and if the table is, let's just say, in my opinion, playing normal, the cue ball will go hit a certain spot on the third rail, and then go to a certain spot on the fourth rail.
Right.
Okay? But now I play on a long sliding table where the cloth is relatively new and thing. What's going to happen is if you play it exactly the same way, because of the slide, it'll actually hit shorter to a shorter point on the third rail. You miss those short angles short on a long table, which sounds like an oxymoron, but
Yeah.
that's exactly the truth. But it'll go longer to the fourth rail. It's a lot of adjusting. You really got to adjust to those things.
Well, we hosted the Nationals in Detroit, in Livonia, Michigan, about was it 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago now. It's been a while, but anyway, we had a Korean fellow stayed at my house, Soo Kim, and he told me that you have to learn to shoot all of those short angles with 3 different types of hits and English, and you have to adapt to whichever kind of tables you're playing. And you can't just be one way with those shots, and so that goes to show you, the adaptability that you have to adjust to every table that you play, all the conditions.
Find the hole. Yep.
That's why when the new cloth is on the table, the inexperienced players are struggling a lot more than the experienced players, even though it slides like crazy and being in control is a lot harder. The experienced player knows how to adapt.
I tell you, I spoke with Blumdow on the phone about a week ago. We were on the phone for about an hour, and he was telling me that I forgot where it was. I think he said Korea. He was playing in Korea, and they were putting like some kind of wax or silicone thing on the balls, and they were sliding like crazy all over the place. And he didn't play well, so he said it's just too much. He goes, he actually prefers it if it's playing short.
Well, Bloomdal's got a Sogard table in his house. Now, I think the Sogards in Europe might play a little longer than the ones I've played on it in the U.S., but the ones in the U.S. play shorter, and I think Bloomdahl likes the shorter table. Like the Cheviots are real long,
Very
and
long.
the Wilhelminas are real long. The Verhovens are in between, and. But by the same token, Jim was just talking about, putting wax on the balls, and I played out in Burbank Elks with Alan Gilbert several years ago, and he put his own polish on the balls, and the balls were going a 3/4 of a diamond longer than I was used to on 5-rail shots. It was unbelievable, and it was just, the polish that he liked to use. So, I mean. There are many arguments in tournaments with top players about, what to do about polish. A lot of arguments.
Well, Blumdow told me now that the UMB, whenever they have tournaments, the cloth is always brand new, but it's either it could be brand spanking new when they first go on the table, but sometimes they have preliminary rounds, 2 or 3 days worth of preliminary rounds, so they're broken in already. He goes, but the only thing they're using now on the balls is Aramith ball polish. That's it.
Yeah.
They're not using water. They're not using any other thing with some kind of silicone in it. So they're just strictly using Aramith ball cleaner now. That's what we're using here. We're using Aramith ball cleaner, and we do something that hardly anybody else does. We do damp microfiber cloth to clean the table. We would vacuum, but it's a pain in the neck, and
well, I don't know.
we
I
interrupt the game.
don't know if Steve is trying a ticky here or what. Maybe he's changing his mind. This is kind of a difficult ticky.
I would play a Sikio the other way.
Yeah, he's going to have to really use a lot of high ball and bounce it off the rail and make it come short, and then he's going to put the red in the problem area. So.
Do you like the Tiki off the yellow here?
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Right, just soft speed, so it's
That's not too bad.
And by Tiki we mean, for those of you who don't know, it would be behind the ball. You'd be hitting the rail first into the ball, and then your cue ball hits the rail again right away. So you get 2 rails out of the way, and you have to hit 3 altogether. Well, that's a nice hit.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not. I think he made the hit, but he didn't have the English.
Right. He floated it.
Floated it. We're talking about everything but the match here. What's going on?
That's okay. We're going to come up with some interesting shot here. Gary's relatively new to this game, so I've watched him play in 4 different tournaments now, and I'm seeing improvements. But this doesn't come fast. If you want to play at any kind of a level in this game, you have to put in several years just to be able to play at a decent room level.
Well, you have a lot of things to learn. You got to learn the shots. You got to learn the patterns. You got to start seeing, I'm getting kisses on those type of shots. And you got to watch more players play shots that you never saw before, and you're like,
Right.
I never thought of that.
Right. For you, you out there that are interested in learning this game, my advice is that you watch good players. The tapes are excellent instructions. However, the angle that you see of the table is different than in reality. Of course, you realize that. But, you have to watch good players. You have to learn the patterns because ball selection, shot selection is key. But, you gotta watch as much as you, and you gotta practice as much as you play. So, it's a lot of commitment. So if you really want to play this game, you better have if you're married, you better have a wife that's very understanding.
If you want to be good at this game, don't get married or get divorced. I'm not telling people to get divorced. I don't want to hear nothing later. Quit your job.
I was fortunate that when I met my wife, I met her and she was a pool player, so she understood, and she accepted that. And in fact, she encouraged me to go out and play because she knew how much I loved it. So I was blessed. I was lucky. But, that was a nice shot. Did he go rail first on that?
Yes, rail first.
Yeah, that was definitely a nice shot.
I was like this. I was cringing though because I was thinking he was gonna.
Yeah, go ball first.
No, I thought he was gonna.
Go through the hole.
No, drive the red back into it, the other ball.
Yeah.
Kiss, but he hit it a good amount.
Well, he's got
Okay.
2 ways to play this: a +2, or he can go to the long rail after the ball. He goes to the long rail after the ball.
Oh.
It's a very good way to play it. Oh. Yeah, I like playing it that way because you can control the first ball. You can get a thicker hit on the first ball and get position. If he would have scored that, he would have, maybe had a second
I
shot.
thought it was going to score. It looked good.
Yeah. There's a lot of strategy in this game, and there's a lot of shot selection. And then after you decide how you want to score, then you have to decide how you're going to do it. Thick hit, thin hit, lots of English, follow through, whatever. So there's a lot of strategy involved. So that's why you really need to watch.
Steve is going to play a full ball hit here with draw and spin the ball over to the white and try to keep the red out of the kiss pattern.
I think
That's what he did, but he didn't hit it hard enough. He did good.
kind of checked his stroke. That's what he checked his stroke. There's also in this game technique for avoiding kisses and achieving like that last spin shot he was trying to achieve. It's a lot of technique. And there are a lot of players out there like Carlos Hallen, who is a big proponent of teaching technique, and George Ashby, another big proponent. That's Gary's teacher. And, all the players use technique. So
What's that, Bill?
there's stroke technique. There's different, ways that you let go of the cue, or use just the weight of the cue, or use the weight of your arm, or have a loose grip and then clinch it at the end. There's a lot of technique involved, which is very subtle. And if you're not a player that knows a lot about this game, it'll escape you. Also, when I tell people if they want to learn about billiards, is to watch the cue tip go through the cue ball, and see exactly. You see that one. He had about an 8-inch follow through, and his cue was going kind of downward.
He hit that well.
And that was not a bad execution. I mean, sometimes the shots are laying hard, and you just got to take what happens.
Yeah.
But he executed that fine.
He had reverse English on the ball. I don't know if he was low on the cue ball or not. I think he tried to play it dead.
Man.
And it was a tough leave. And what's he doing? Reverse English? Yeah.
Looks like it.
Yeah. Reverse
Oh,
English.
yeah.
Wow.
That was very nice.
That's not easy.
Yeah. That's one of those shots that you don't make very often, but when you make it,
Yeah.
people are, standing up and applauding.
It's a lot.
I shoot that shot a lot more than I should because I'm a ham, and I like to show off. But
it's a lot easier though when they're near the lower right hand.
But I have
area.
to bring up the fact that my teacher was Bob Amin, and Bob Amin has developed his own systems for a lot of shots, including that last one, which I got to give him some credit that his system works. But still, that shot's very difficult. If you watch these guys, watch the good players. When they go through the cue ball, watch where their cue tip. Just keep your eye on the cue stick, the tip, and watch how sometimes they go down, sometimes they go up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's important, man. I mean, you subconsciously, you pick up a lot of stuff that way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've learned a lot by watching good players. I was watching Mr. Cho like a hawk.
Yeah.
He's going to be our national champion one of these days.
He could win this year.
I know.
He's capable.
He's good enough.
Yeah.
Well, Gary's groaning. He's having a hard time, so I can feel his pain. I know that pain well.
I go through that a lot.
Yeah.
If things are not going well, I start getting frustrated.
Well, he's putting a lot of effort into playing billiards, and he's taking lessons, and he's got a lot of expectations, and that's fine. But this just doesn't happen overnight.
Well, that's what makes this game even more difficult, and I'm in that category as well. You work on your game, you're working on different shots and things like that, but then you go play in a tournament, and now you're playing on a foreign table. You don't know exactly always how they're cleaning the balls, how they're cleaning the tables. Strange things happen sometimes on the billiard table, and it messes with your mind. You start saying, "Oh my God," like that. Gary's probably upset. Saying why did it go so long or something like that.
Absolutely, like
Start talking yourself out of even the easy shots.
Oh yeah, you can start second guessing yourself, and then sometimes you get a little tentative, and maybe you'll get frustrated, and you won't see something for a while, and then all of a sudden you're just bunting at the ball.
Yeah, not stroking it,
Yeah.
you're not confident. Happens a lot.
And then also in this game, for non-billiard players out there, this game involves a lot of mathematical systems. And, some guys get so wrapped up in the systems, they forget how to stroke the ball when it comes time to stroke the ball.
Right.
So
Like on this shot, he's going to do the square root of pi
Yeah.
times 10 to the 18th power. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, but you got to be able to go from your left brain to your right brain. Like Tom Rossman was putting on his show last night, and he was talking about being in his right brain, where you're in control of your three-dimensional world in there, and he was making all his amazing shots, and you know he alluded to the fact that he can talk, which is a left brain activity, and shoot at the same time, because he tells himself that I can allow myself to be distracted by my left brain, but I'm going to, instead of allow myself to be distracted, I'm going to make myself focus a little bit more on my shot with my right brain. So anyway, it kind of opened up the fact that something which I've known for a long time is when I think nothing but systems in this game, all of a sudden I'm not stroking very well anymore. So usually your instinct players are your best players in the long run. You got to learn some basic facts to play this game. Oh, too thin, I think. Yeah. That shot in particular, you could, use the diamond system on that shot, or you could just, take a guess. And he took a guess, hit it too thin, but that was a difficult shot. You needed a very precise hit. Some shots are, you have a big ball and not required to be perfect. Some shots you're just going to a small target. Well, that's what happens when you miss a shot you think you're supposed to make. Let's see if Gary can make something out of this. He's going to have to be a little careful. There is a kiss in this shot if he... It's kind of a glaring kiss, actually. He's going to go with it with the rail first shot, which is difficult because he's going to have to... Got the kiss anyway. He actually hit it pretty good, except for the kiss. Well, he's going to shoot over a ball. Yeah, well, not quite. All right, 2. Yeah. Would have been nicer if he would have scored a little heavier on the red. But we'll take any kind of billiard at all. Anyway. I got to wonder about this one. I think I would play it off the red. That's why right there. That is why I would have played it off the red. But it's easy sitting in this chair. Not good? Oh, okay. Said something maybe you want to talk? Can you say something about it? Not that I know. Yeah.
Sorry. My apologies.
We'll take it. Well, apology accepted. Usually when guys make lucky shots, they follow it up with more. But I guess Steve's a gentleman. He left this one rather difficult. Maybe he's going to play across table. Probably not. Okay. Ah, didn't hit it bad. Well, left another bank. Now, I know George Ashby uses Kuhlman's number system for banking, so let's see if Gary has learned that. He's looking at something different, I think. Looks like he's looking at a short 3-rail bank instead of a long 3-rail bank. Hey, Chris.
I'm back. What's the score here? Taking a while.
Yeah.
Lots of innings piling up. Paul Frankel just told me that I am up next on the show table. Me and Chris O'Brien. That ought to be fun.
Who do you play?
Chris O'Brien.
Oh, you play my friend Chris.
My friend too.
Yep. Chris was our C champion. Now he's graduating to the B category. When you play in Japan, they have multiple tournaments, and when you win your division, such as Chris has done, you graduate to the next level. So I guess he feels like he's ready.
Actually, he won the in 2008. He won the rankings championship. He didn't actually win he didn't win like a big C tournament or anything. But he just had the highest number of ranking points. That's because
just like my friend Gary Elias.
Yeah,
He's a B ranking player, and he took a lot of teasing and needling for that.
Well, we have different tournaments throughout the year, and sometimes you'll have a player play in only one or two tournaments for the whole year, and maybe they'll win or do very well, and then you'll have another player who's almost as good, maybe not as good, and they just participate a lot, and they always do fairly well in the tournaments, maybe not win them, and you end up collecting tons of ranking points. And that happens. That happens a lot with Jim Shovak. He collects a lot of ranking points, and
Yeah, it's the only way he can get any place.
that's the only way I could do it. System was devised for me, apparently.
Actually, Jim has won a couple B tournaments, B tour events.
Yeah, I
so-
did win a couple of events,
So
but
I-
it's been at least a
And
couple
that's
of
something
years.
I haven't done, so I really can't say much to the guy.
It's been a couple of years though, so it's
That's back when nobody could play.
right. Nobody knew how to play back then. Oh man, that's tough.
Actually, I just played a game, the last game on that table, and last night the table was playing extremely long, and when I played on it, it was playing exactly the way I'm used to back in Michigan. The numbers were, perfect. I use Kuhlman's banking system, so that's how I test the table to see if it's long or short, and it was playing perfect. So I have no excuses if I play a bad game on this table. But, I'm kind of amazed at how quickly this table is shortened up because last night it was playing real long.
Yeah, but I know why. because right before we played yesterday, I took the clean microfiber cloth. I went into the bathroom, soaked it really good, rinsed it out as much as I could, and cleaned the table really, really thoroughly.
I actually cleaned the table before I played. I heard that your commentary said that I didn't, but I did. You just
No,
didn't.
no, no,
You didn't see me do it.
Yeah, was that a dry rag?
Yeah, it was dry. I just got
Oh,
the
dry
dust
rag.
off of there.
Yeah.
But it won't make it play that short. I mean, the table is shortened up. You'll find out. You're going to play on it next.
Well, if I
I
clean
mean,
if
just
I-
check
if-
the numbers out, and you're going to see it's playing normal. I
Right.
mean, what I consider normal, which is short for New York tables. So
That's true. In
Yeah.
New York, there are a lot of slide
yeah,
because they use a polish from Korea that actually does have some silicone in it,
yeah.
and it plays very long, sometimes scary long, like, I wish it wasn't that long. Kind of the way it was last night, actually.
Yeah.
It's pretty long. But you shouldn't let me clean the table, I think. You'll see.
I'm going to clean the table from now on. That's it.
No, if I clean the table, you'll see. I'll bet you it's going to be very long. Because I'm really thorough when I do it. I have like my own system. I got a system for everything. I got a system for cleaning the tables.
OCD. I don't want to go there. Yeah,
That's my
He's a
problem.
compulsive table cleaner.
Yes. And you got to wipe the nose of the rail, too.
Well, yeah, absolutely. That makes a difference.
I hear people a lot saying about wiping the nose of the rail with the damp cloth is not good because there's rubber underneath it, which, I don't know, maybe it's true. Maybe in the long term, maybe it might damage it. I'm not sure. But I tell you what, it helps a lot. It plays a lot longer when you clean the nose of the rail along with the table. Plays super long.
The rails are the most critical part anyway. I mean, as far as long and short goes.
Yeah. So I guess that argument will just keep happening.
Yeah.
I don't think there'll be a resolution.
No. Well, you just better adapt to the table. That's all.
Yeah, that's true. That had to be a point. Ball went backwards.
I'm not sure.
His cue ball went backwards. If he hit ball first.
Oh, yeah. You're right. You're right. I didn't think about it that way. I was looking at the reaction.
Should I say something?
No, I don't think we can interfere.
You're not gonna interfere?
No, we can't interfere.
But
Unless they ask us
I
to
like
interfere.
to interfere. I'm pretty good at
I
it.
think you're right. I was watching the way the
Yeah.
red ball reacted, but I didn't pay attention to how the cue ball reacted.
Well, if you hit ball first or rail first,
Yeah.
either way, you could knock the red into that
Yeah.
the long rail after the hit, and then
Yeah.
out.
yeah,
So that was hard to tell. But his ball went backwards
yeah. Well,
toward
that,
the corner. So,
yeah, that kind of tells you something. You're right.
but you know what? With the cloth being new, even if he had ball first, if he had a high ball, if he was playing with a high ball, still could have went backwards. It's possible.
It could.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, that's one of those little trick shots that we shoot.
I'll tell you what, the shot didn't look good when he hit it, though.
No,
It didn't look good when he hit it. It looked like he hit the ball direct.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I was going to say no point,
But then when I saw the direction of the cue ball going
Yeah.
backwards, I was like, you know.
well,
maybe-
they decided to say it was no point. So
Well-
so far, no arguments in the tournament.
If you're not sure, the rule of thumb is you don't take the point. That's
Yeah,
all.
I had one in my match where I thought I could have scored, but I really wasn't sure, so I didn't take it.
And then you got to watch out for the players like me that if it's close, it's good.
Years ago, I used to play with a very fine player, and I'm not going to mention his name because I'm saying something negative. But he always made the call in his favor. It was never, it was always, and he was a better player than me at the time. So
It's hard to argue with
that
them.
it used to aggravate me because he would never make a call the other way. But what are you going to do? You want to learn how to play, so you play with the better players, and you just take whatever you take. I mean, if you really want to learn to play. True. That's
Yeah,
true.
I know people like that. It's always good, no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
It's always good when they shoot.
That was a very fine shot. Yep.
You know what I like the best? The best is when I'm all the way on the other side of the table shooting some kind of delicate shot, and it's a super, very close thing, and I'm looking at it right on top of the ball, and he's way on the other side of the table in his seat, and he's making the call for me. I love that.
Oh yeah, I can see across the room.
Yeah, they go, oh, no, that definitely didn't make. What do you know?
I'm not 100% sure I would agree with his shot selection on this one.
I don't know if it was doable or not.
I think he could have went off the left side of the white. I mean, here I am, second guessing.
Was
the
that
guy,
even
but,
makeable? I don't even know.
Yeah, it probably was, but
Technically?
it's pretty difficult.
Hypothetically possible?
Pretty difficult.
Yeah, I didn't care for it.
But
No.
that's the big part of the game, is shot selection. I still get my teacher Bob Amin still says, you made 3 wrong shots in that last game. Your shot selection was wrong. But that's because he prefers tickies, real first tickies all the time.
On every shot.
Yeah, well, whenever they
I'm
show up, he likes them. Yeah, and there was a time I have to say, as far as I know anyway, he was the finest ticky player in the country at one time. I mean, I used to watch him. He never missed one.
It's a pretty good hit. Long? Oh, it's good. It's timed beautifully.
That's a second apology. Let's see if he's a gentleman this time.
That was timed beautifully.
He's got a little better shot to shoot at this time than he did the last time he got lucky.
Short
so
angle off the red.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, he's got a couple opportunities
Yeah.
here. Probably the short angle. These guys
Yeah.
from Grand Rapids like to play the short angles, which everybody pretty much says is the correct shot. Which,
Well, if you have
when
a
I'm not
short
playing
angle.
all the time, in the summertime when I'm working all the time, I'm scared of them because I'm not playing enough to
Well.
be comfortable. But this is definitely the right shot, though.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he can knock the red ball up or get some position and, make the point. He didn't even get the.
You got robbed.
He hit it way too hard, though. I mean, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you want to get position.
I hit those hard sometimes, depending
Well.
on. It depends on the degree of difficulty. If it's
Yeah.
very, 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 very difficult, and you have to be really, really perfect on it, sometimes I'll opt for the speed, so I don't have to worry about is it going to have enough English on the last rail to still go out to the ball. So
Yeah.
you just cinch it.
Yeah, well, cinching the billiard is key in a lot of shots, but when you got shots that can give you some kind of position, you're better off trying to get position
True.
in the long run.
Yes, but if you miss
You're
the
going to
shot,
be a better player in the long
but
run.
if you miss the shot, it's
well, yeah,
pointless.
you might miss, but if you make the shot and you never get any position out of it, what good is it?
Well, I agree. I agree. You have to take both into consideration.
Yeah, and position is more about speed than a lot of things.
He's playing a ticky here. He's got can't hit it too hard, and went really long. I don't know why it went so long. On those tickies, if you catch a decent amount of ball, like the one he played, if you catch a decent amount of ball and don't shoot it hard speed, softer speed, and follow through on your stroke, you can shorten it up a lot easier than hitting it hard.
True.
Hit it hard, it usually has a tendency to want to hug the rail up there and go long.
Well, people have me convinced that tickies are easy shots, but I don't. I don't think so. Not for me, anyway.
The better players generally say there's no such thing as an easy shot, period.
Yeah, and I think they're right. I mean,
Every shot needs to be looked at, calculated,
right.
and cinched, so to speak.
Yeah, you watch. I just got done watching Daniel Sanchez beat Bloomdahl in 2003 in Las Vegas, and he beat him in 3 straight sets, and And Sanchez, I averaged over 3 for the 3 sets, but every shot, even the ones that were relatively straightforward, short angle shots, he took a lot of time on them to make sure he got them. He doesn't play around. He wants to make sure. And that's a good lesson right there. I mean, you gotta take it serious. When I'm back in the room just playing around with my buddies, I'm just banging them around. But there comes a time when if you practice serious all the time, it's probably the best way to
Was
practice.
that you playing before? A round or two ago? Were you playing on this table? I'm sorry, I couldn't see you from here. I couldn't see who it was. And I didn't know. I thought it was the little guy, Tyler.
Tyler?
Yeah, so I think during the match I was saying Tyler.
Yeah, because Dennis called me and told me, you did a job on Tyler. And I said, no, I didn't. I did a job on Chip.
Yeah, so I apologize.
Oh, hey, man. It's probably good you gave me suit. I told Paul to come over here and tell you, be nice to me or fight.
You made some really nice shots
In the beginning of the game, he had me nervous as hell.
right?
Yeah, he had 4 billiards in 4 innings.
You made some really nice
Yeah,
shots.
5
And
innings.
then throughout the middle of the game, I know we started to struggle, but during the middle game, I was watching his positions,
Yeah.
and I was like, boy, Bill's not leaving this very much.
Oh.
Maybe not intentionally.
He had me a little nervous. When he was making everything he was shooting at in the
And
beginning.
then at the end, you finally gave us some opportunities. And I was saying that Tyler didn't take advantage of it.
Yeah.
It's all right.
So you got away with it.
Yeah, and I'm glad it's soon. That's
Good
good.
Tyler.
All right, we'll put it on the Tyler board. A loss for Tyler.
This is really cool.
Yeah, it is.
So my apologies to whoever was listening. We just found out that
Match with Bill Johnson.
the match with Bill Johnson and I thought was Tyler. What was his last name again? Tyler Thompson.
Thompson. Yeah.
Thompson? Yeah, I thought it was Tyler Thompson, but it was Chip Sutherland. Chip Sutherland was playing. And, of course, Chip just told me that he didn't want anybody to know that was him playing
Yeah.
because he didn't play well.
Yeah. So we're gonna
So,
chalk
my
up the loss in Tyler.
No, Chip's loss,
yeah.
and we have to take the loss away from Tyler. Tyler didn't lose, apparently. Sorry, Tyler. What is the score?
11-10 in 30 innings. White.
Steve is winning?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Score. Apparently, they can see the score. I guess.
Yeah, they can.
I don't see it. Oh, they do have it. 11-10. 11-10 favors Steve Andersen from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Mid-America Region Director, newly elected. He will be taking office in about a month and a half or so, a little less than that. Bill Johnson will be retiring from active duty.
I've been retired for a while, buddy.
But we're going to find a way to keep Bill working,
Yeah, I think
whether he likes it or not.
the guys down in Warren want me to stay on the job because they don't want to do it,
That's why. Yeah.
which is okay by me. Actually, I can't complain too much. I got a couple of fellas back home that give me a lot of help when we have tournaments and such. So,
You can still run tournaments and
Yeah,
stuff, Bill. and
sure.
You can still be in the loop.
the last tournament we had, Gary Elias gave me a big hand, and Mike Bengals always helps out cleaning the balls and the tables and stuff. And
But I'm a little disappointed because I'm most of the time when we have board discussions and votes, I have to say I'm very, very happy and grateful that for the most part, Bill Johnson's always with me on the votes. So
more
a
little
little
often
disappointed.
than not.
More often than not is right.
Yep.
So I appreciate that. Now, of course, I got to deal with Steve Andersen. We don't know what we're
Now,
going to get.
that is an entirely different ball game.
That's all we do during the only reason we have commentary is so we can pick on people.
Yeah, that's our whole focus here. I know these billiard players are dead serious, and it's nice not to have to be dead serious. Believe me, when I play, you better not talk.
No, it's true. It's like during the tournament when you're playing, it's so serious and everything. But outside of that, outside of the tournament, or if we go out to eat or something, I mean, we have such a ball. We enjoy each other's company. Of course, we talk about billiards, of course, but we just
What else
laugh.
is there to talk about? Billiards and girls, but I mean, other than that, what else is there to talk about?
That's about it. There's nothing else.
but,
we could talk politics and get mad. Everybody get mad at each other, but we don't choose not to do that.
Yeah, for me, billiards is a big meditation. It's just me and the shot in front of me. So it kind of gets me out of the stress of what else is going on in my life.
Very close.
So it's a great way to forget about what's happening.
Steve was looking at it to make sure he didn't foul. It's a moot point anyway.
Yeah, I think he had a
What do you think here, Bill?
secondary motive.
What do you think here, Bill?
Well,
Some kind of bank shot or off the yellow or long angle?
I think I'm glad I'm not shooting this shot,
Man,
but
I don't like it.
he could double a rail, force follow through the red.
Yeah.
That's a shot. Or
Small target, though,
very
isn't it?
small target. Or he could bank, which is not an easy shot either.
Yeah, I think he's going to go. He's looking at rail first to the
Yeah.
red.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's-
talking about a 3-rail bank. Sorry.
Yeah,
Rail first to the red. If you hit ball first, then what happens?
he's got to hit this so perfect. It's
Yeah,
a joke.
I know.
mean,
And you
well,
might-
maybe he's two rails to the yellow, but that's another crazy shot.
I think that's even harder.
Yeah, well,
It's hard enough just to hit the yellow, right?
Yeah, they're both
and then
cra-
you still got to catch another rail. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's a crazy shot. I don't want it. I'm glad he's shooting it.
I like on this shot, probably for safety reasons as well. Long angle shot off the yellow. The long angle back to the lower.
I'll tell you what I would shoot here is the force follow through the red,
Really?
double the rail.
Okay.
I would. But the red is liable to come back and kiss the. Oh, he's going to try across the table off the yellow, I think.
Or my
He's-
shot.
Yeah, he's got to just miss the red.
You might play my
Looks
shot.
like he's trying it. I'm
Long
not.
angle?
I'm not.
Long
Oh,
angle.
hey,
Just-
that's not a bad shot.
That's what I said. Well, he's just too
you know,
long.
That's one of
And
of
safety.
my personal weaknesses. Is that type of shot.
Yeah.
And I notice that, some of the fine players in my room shoot that shot a lot more than I do. And I just got to train myself to shoot that shot more. I mean, because
Yeah.
it's kind of a small ball, but heck, is no kiss. And look at he had pretty good control.
I don't like those shots, Bill, to play them. I don't like them. I'm not, 100% accurate on them or anything, but I do play them because I know I have to learn them. I got to get better at them. I got to get the feel out of them. And a lot of times, I'm fairly safe. If I miss, I'm fairly safe. Yeah, I'm leaving. So that's why I opt for them a lot. I don't have to worry about a kiss a lot of times.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's the reason why I should. I'm still learning shot selection.
What do you like here?
Yeah.
Reverse sticky behind the white ball?
I pop my head around the corner here to see the actual physical table instead of looking on the screen because it looks different.
It does look different. I like the Bill. I don't
Wow.
like. Well, this one is doable.
Wow.
If he hits the red,
This is going to be an amazing shot
if he hits
makes
the
it.
red,
If he makes it, we got to clap a little bit. We got to clap a little bit. If he
oh,
makes
you
this,
see?
give him the clap on that
Ah. Shot, Gary.
one. What a shot.
I'm not.
That's the beauty of this game right there, right in a nutshell. I mean, I would never shoot a shot.
You know
like
what was.
that.
You know what was great about that shot? He hit it full, and
Yeah.
it followed through, and he made it anyway. If he
Yeah.
hits it thin, he still makes it.
Well, yeah.
You know?
And you know what? I noticed years ago I saw some very good Korean players in New York shooting a lot of two-rail umbrellas and shots like that. And it's like they don't just occur to me too much. And that's the creative part of this game. There's so many different ways to play these shots.
Not good. And what do we say
Yeah.
after he misses?
That's the same guy shot the
Same-
boated him.
Same guy.
Yeah, the Chicago accent boated him. I guess that's how they say it.
After a person makes a great shot, they usually. I'm not saying that was not a hanger, easy shot type of thing, but It certainly should have been closer, I think. But that's what happens. Same guy.
Well, I figured out a long time ago because when I was a young player, I used to make a great shot like Gary just made and then miss the next one. And I figured out a long time ago I got to take twice as much time on the next shot.
Absolutely.
Just so I make sure that I don't miss it, especially if it's a makeable shot. So, I mean, you're so relieved that you make it that you just get up and bang away at the next one. Hi, Mike. How you doing?
Mike Wallow on the chat says hello. I'm assuming he's saying that to me, to Bill and myself. I believe it's wallow. Like wallow in your own misery. Stuff like that. Hello, Michael. How are you? Thank you for running for office. I know you didn't get elected, but you told me before the election you didn't want to anyway. So everybody's happy. No problem. We're all in the same team. Mike ran, him and Bruce Warner ran the tournament at 8-Ball Billiards, the tour event a month ago or so, and they did a fantastic job, and I was very grateful to them. And it was a very complicated tournament because there was 51 players. They had uneven amounts of players in the flights. It was very complicated. Then, of course, we had our complicated semifinal and final rounds, and it was definitely a task. And they came through with flying colors, and I want to thank you again for that, Mike. Thanks for being there.
Well, it looks like our standard +2 shot coming up. I'm not sure. Sometimes he'll just play it off the left side of the red and just go 3 rails. Short rail, long rail, short rail. Well, maybe he's going to come around the other way. Around the other way.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, the only thing that I'm going to say, the difference between me and Steve on that shot is if I played the exact same shot he played, I would definitely be hitting it with more speed.
Yeah.
Going to the yellow. There's just and missing on the long side, which he did.
And myself, I would have went with a +2, which would have been off the right side of the red to the short rail, long rail, because you got a much bigger ball and it's sitting right on the path. But that's path knowledge.
Didn't he have a shot off the left side of the yellow on there into the corner?
Yeah, he had another possible +2 going that way too.
So this is not easy what he's doing here. I don't even know if this is it even possible?
Yeah, possible.
Ugh. Tough shot.
I like the way Gary strokes the ball, goes through the ball. I mean, he doesn't hit the ball too bad. I don't know. It's just hasn't quite got his game fine-tuned yet. Yeah, if he sticks to it, maybe he'll get it.
I think he gets too nervous.
Yeah,
he's hard on himself. I mean, kind of like me. I'm the same way.
He's definitely nervous, but he's got a fine stroke. He really does. Strokes the ball nice and smooth.
No, he just needs to play with more confidence and not worry about what's going on. Or, I'm talking to myself when I say that.
Yeah.
But I noticed that in Gary as well. He gets uptight and things like that, and that is certainly going to. It's just going to make you tighter when you're stroking the ball.
Yeah, competing at something that requires fine motor skills like this is,
Yeah. Well, this is a very difficult shot. I would play it as a spin shot.
Yeah,
to maximize.
When you're close to the rail
exactly.
like that,
just like
try
he's
to
doing.
get
I'm
some
not
spin.
sure if he got it, but oh wow, what happened?
Yeah,
Maybe
he
he
kind
didn't-
of
he
half committed to the spin.
Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't really
he
spin
didn't
it.
Spin it. Yeah, he didn't spin it. So that's
Like
like
you put a little more zip in your stroke when you spin that one. I know how you shoot that shot.
Yeah, I got to spin it.
You put a little bit more snap in the stroke there.
You got
and
to
get the
spin that ball. You want the spin to still be there on the
Right.
last rail. That's what you
Right.
want.
Well, that's a good rule of thumb. When the ball's close to the rail, make it bigger by spinning it.
And the shorter the table plays, or the dirtier it is, the more spin it loses from rail to rail. So, if you're playing on that kind of table, if you're playing on the shorter table, the dirtier table, and you want to play a spin shot like that, then you have to hit it extra full, extra spin, That's the only way it'll hold the spin on that third rail. In other words, when you hit the spin shot, you can't hit it like a 2/3 ball hit spin shot. You got to hit like full in the face spin shot and get maximum spin. The only way it's going to hold the spin on that last rail.
Well, a rule
Makes the shot harder though.
A rule of thumb for the beginning billiard player is that the thicker you hit the first object ball, the more English you can put on the cue ball. And,
You mean the more English the cue ball picks up?
picks up, right? That's what I mean. So your 3 tips will become a lot more than 3 tips.
Right. 3 tips becomes 8 tips, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So the thicker you can hit the ball,
Oh, look at this.
yeah. Now again,
Nice
there's
try.
a shot where I think even though if he would have hit the right rail, he probably would have missed it short. I mean, it wouldn't have made it there. His speed was wrong. He was so concentrated on getting the hit, he didn't hit it with the proper speed. No, I don't think he would have got there.
Even if he crashed it in the corner,
Yeah. It just
would have come out longer.
I would have hit that with a little more speed because look what he leaves with if he misses.
Well, yeah.
Those kind of
that's-
shots you got to hit with a little more speed. You can't
Yeah.
just assume you're going to make it.
Well, he definitely didn't play safety on that shot
Well,
at all.
I know, but the thing about it is if you got one that's out there that's highly makeable, sure you can shoot with that speed. But if you got one out there that's not that highly makeable, you better not.
Yeah.
You better
I
think
agree.
about.
You have to think about what
You
you're
got to think about what's happening if you miss.
Absolutely. And I think Gary's upset with himself there for coming long on that shot that he was left.
Yeah.
He was given an opening and he didn't score. So he's upset. There's another thing. When you see the position of the white ball for that last shot that Gary had, you could see the track of the ball is actually long of the corner, slightly long of the corner.
Yeah.
And a good rule of thumb is, I mean, you could play it direct, okay, but do not go long on that shot, ever. You have to make sure that if you miss, you're going to miss short. You have to miss short because then you can still make it.
Yeah.
But you have to make sure you don't go long. You have to concentrate on that. That would have made if you didn't get the kiss. Seems like both players are not too comfortable. Neither.
No, they're not adjusting well to it.
No.
Well, I feel pretty fortunate because we just had our qualifier in Michigan, first weekend of December, and our cloth is relatively still new, and I've been practicing a lot on it. So these tables are playing pretty good for me right now. These other fellas, I don't know. They're playing on older tables, I'm sure.
You beat the kiss. That's good.
All
Good
right.
shot. Good shot. And he's got a position. He's got a nice position here. I'm pretty sure a top player here will come off the right side of the red. Natural 3-railer. Do a fairly decent sized target on the white. And I think Gary was looking off the white instead, but I think it's the wrong shot.
I think he might.
Yep. Was he going to play a
I think
ticky?
he's going to play a ticky.
Yeah, I know, but I think this is the wrong shot.
Well,
Even if he
there's
makes
a
it,
potential kiss there. If
that's
he
the problem.
If he hits it halfway decent, he won't get a kiss. But
Yep. Too close to a kiss. I can't tell if he made it.
yeah, when you got those tickies like that, where you're on that long angle going into the rail, you get a lot of kisses on those kinds.
That's an example, okay? The shot you just saw, the first shot I said, okay, the short angle off the red, and
Right.
it's a natural shot. Now, granted, if you don't have confidence at the table, that's when you start doing things like what just happened,
Right.
where you shoot this other shot. You know what? I like this one better.
And what, even with as much experience as I have, there's times when I'm so nervous I can't shoot it off the right side of the red.
Right.
I just don't feel like I'm going to make it.
Right. But if you've been around enough, you know sometimes
That's the right
that's
shot,
the
though.
right shot to
Oh,
do.
yeah.
But sometimes you don't have the confidence at the
yeah.
table. You just feel, oh, I don't feel confident in this shot.
And you tell yourself you're supposed to force yourself to shoot the right shots, but you still can't do it.
Yeah.
I know the feeling, man. Yeah.
That will be about 2.5 diamonds too long on the last rail.
Yeah.
But that could have been an up and down shot that went awry.
No, I don't think. I think that's the way he played it, but
Yeah.
I'm not 100% on it. But
He might have played an up and down and just
well, you know,
missed the corner.
he's got a different kind of delivery for his twice around shots
Yeah.
than I don't know. He's got kind of a choppy cutoff kind of thing with his stroke, which is different than most guys that go twice around. They have a longer follow through.
Now watch this second chance for kiss right there. Those shots are. I dread those shots too. You're driving that ball back and forth. You're worried about kissing into the red ball in that shot, and you beat that. But then you get a kiss on your cue ball.
Yeah.
So a lot of times the best thing to do on that shot is see if you can cut it out of the
Play
way.
this rail first, maybe. Looks like it might be a rail first.
Yeah.
No, maybe he's just cutting it back.
He's coming
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Terry.
No, he went rail first.
He did play rail first, didn't he?
And I mean, knowing Steve and Gary both, they usually go off the ball rather than go rail first on those type shots.
Yeah, like a drop in.
Right. They
Yeah.
usually just drop it in.
Yeah,
But
I like that shot too. I don't like.
I was surprised that he went that way
I don't
because
like
that's
the
not
rail
his
first.
normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you told me that last night. I remember you told me that.
Me?
I thought maybe it was you. No, it wasn't you. It was somebody else. That's right. Somebody told me they did. I selected that shot. But it's like any shot. If you shoot it enough, you get a feel for it.
Right.
You know.
Wow.
He didn't. He had given it up.
That made?
Yeah.
Wow.
Must have caught a speck of dust or something that went sideways, because it looked like it had to miss.
Hit
But the table's shortening up.
hit a large piece of chalk on the table.
Well, the table is shortening up. There's
Yeah,
no
it
doubt
is.
about it.
It is, but
Let's-
I still say if I clean the table, we won't see that. But I don't know if I want to clean the table. Might want to play on the shorter table.
You got more control, you know.
Yeah.
But then you leave out some options on some shots.
Yeah.
Because you can't get them long enough. So
Yeah.
I mean, whatever you do, you're gonna you know.
Right.
There's always a little give and take in all of it. I hope he strokes this one good. Stroke it good, Gary. Ah,
What was he trying to do on that?
he was trying to come back long rail, long rail, and then come to the middle
Long
of the
shot,
table.
short to the corner?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. All right.
yeah.
Yeah, that was doable.
That was not a bad shot to shoot. But when you go to shoot hard, sometimes you don't hit the ball where you need to hit it.
Yeah, my rule of thumb is a lot of people, if they're faced with a difficult shot, they hit the ball with a lot of speed. But just you have to really, really think about what is the speed going to, how is it going to affect your cue ball, your shot, where it's going to go. A lot of times on those shots, you might be aiming in the right spot, to make it with a normal speed, but then all of a sudden you blast it. You really have to think about, what's going to happen. Is this going to make it really long or really short? Otherwise, you're defeating the purpose of hitting it hard. You
Yeah,
got to know what it's going to do.
yeah.
Got to think about
Well,
it.
that's when you're in a dilemma. That's the typical thing to do is to
Yeah.
hit it too hard.
Right. This looks good.
But he needed to hit that one hard. This is going to be an interesting shot.
What's he doing?
Long rail, short rail.
Hug the rail? Hug the top rail?
I don't think he's hugging it.
Oh,
No.
he's playing a
Long
backup.
rail,
He's playing a
short rail.
backup shot,
Yep.
right?
What we call the Bloomdahl shot.
Wow.
What a nice shot.
Good shot. What did he do there again? He hit ball first.
Yeah, ball.
And then long rail? So it was a back. So it was a right English backup. shot,
Yeah.
Right. Okay. They're not easy.
They're
Especially
all
from
get,
there.
they're all judgment.
That's
It's
not
all
a,
a
that's
judgment
not
shot.
an easy shot.
You got it. You got to.
Do we have a score? I I know the scoreboard is up there, so everybody at home knows the score except us.
14 to 13.
14-13.
Yellow's winning.
Yellow is
Gary.
Gary Eake is winning. Yeah, Steve has not been playing well. I'm watching.
Right.
Neither has Gary.
Well,
This is looks like a reverse English to keep it short, or draw. Or
I
something.
think that little kick he gave helped.
A little kick.
Yeah, he kicked his foot up in the air and he made the point.
Yeah.
Missed the kiss.
The old kick at the last second thing.
We do get a lot of body English in this game.
Oh yeah, it comes in handy. It helps.
If you're not twitching and dancing around the table, you're not playing.
Yeah, right. You got to get into it. Even Sagan does that. He tries to move the ball into.
Well, you know, Bloomdahl's got some funny little movements that aren't exactly body language, but they're more like to exaggerate a stroke or something. You
Yeah,
know, I
too
mean,
low.
Bloomdahl's got some strange little movements that he does just to exaggerate a stroke or something.
Really?
Yeah. And I think it's cool. I mean, to me, it's real cool.
We got a tie game, 14-14. Is that right? It's not 30 innings. It just went to 40, didn't it?
It's got to be.
It's 40.
Yeah, it's got to
Yeah.
be.
Tell him he didn't change it into
He
40.
must have stopped. Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Have to do some enforcement.
I think he's playing a ticket here, and I'm not. It looks like it. Gonna have to bounce it pretty good. No, he's not. Sometimes it's hard to tell with the angle. Angle of the camera. I didn't think he was gonna be able to make a ticky, but sometimes they come out pretty far. Well, that was not a good effort, obviously. Steve Andersen needs to watch out for the kiss in the shot. Gotta hit it good. Yeah, he hit it good.